So if you look here, you'll see what I'm carving. I'm just looking back at you, you know what? The idea is an eye. Now it's eye and a nose. This is for a larger project, so you don't see the rest of the face, and there's a reason for that, and that's all because of that piece of artwork requires it. So this is only one piece of about 30 pieces that are being carved to put in there. But, so when you do an eye, I always say it's nice to get some silly putty. Get some plasticine. You can buy some good stuff, the stuff that doesn't color your fingers. You can get it online, or you can get the white clay, the stuff that hardens to the air, and sit back on a piece of plywood and make an eye. Take a look at your own, take a look at pictures online, see how it's designed, see how the eye moves and flows, see the high and low parts, the high points and the low points of the eye. And then know you have to gouge it because you start with a flat surface, correct? So you've got a flat surface, now you've got to drop it down on either side. Get the shape of the eye, not to forget your tear duct that's down in the corner. And then you've got your eye on either side. Now I like to do is take a wood burning tool and darken it in around the edges a little bit. You can see a little bit there on this one. That's before I paint. That's if I'm going to paint and add a little bit of texture. So a little bit of hairlines, a little bit of skin cracks, stuff like that. As you get around the face to give it more depth. Cracks around the eye, depth along the inside of the eyelid. Put it in so it tucks underneath. It's basically carving with fire, I guess, for lack of a better word, but it's pyrography art. And clean up around the eye there, and that gives it a little bit more depth. And we'll get to that in another video, but once you clean that off, it provides that extra depth that you wanted to get, and shading if you're going to paint. If you're just going to leave it as a carving, you're going to rely on that to be stained to give it a little bit of shadow. Shadow provides depth, right? Now, the eye itself, you're going to remember that, and when you look at your own eye, you'll see that the eye isn't standing out up above your eyelids. It's back in your eye. So you're going to make sure you clean that off and take this down as you work your way down. I always recommend try it with a piece of plasticine, something like that first. Then once you get comfortable with how the eye looks or the look of the eye that you want to use, because your eyelids, the shape of the eyelids and how the eyebrows are and all of that shows expression of that face as well. So you've got to watch out for that. It can't be just a stare, plain stare. It's got to have some kind of expression to it. And in this one, it's sort of the awe of a conversation. That's why the eyebrow is up higher, more of a shocked look. Okay, so that's the eye. Now there's lots of magazines out there that'll show you, and articles that show you pictures of how to physically do it, which is great. They're all great, you know, they're all relevant. But what's really relevant for you is to get some clay and make this on your own. Okay, I've been doing this for 35 years. I still do it from time to time just to remind myself, because it's easier to work with a piece of clay and a couple of simply tools that I picked up on Amazon to without, you know, not sharp, they're just plastic tools, to create the eye that I want, to get my blood juice, creative juices flowing again, to understanding how it's done. Because I jump from project to project. Tomorrow's a grizzly bear, day after is a deer, day after that it's a coffee table. This one's modern art, functional art. You know, you move around, and it's always nice to come back and remind yourself. So get some clay, have some fun, design it up, and get the feel. Because if you don't like it, squish it into a big ball and do it again. Okay, thanks.